Hi, Christy. Can you hear me? You're still on mute.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Christy. Good. Thanks for jumping on. And you get the award for being first. Not too often a realtor's on time.
I'm a former teacher, so
Oh, okay.
it confuses everything,
You've been regimented.
right?
I won't blow the whistle or blow the alarm.
There you go.
All
No grades.
right, we're waiting on about 5 or 6 more, and then there's Cheryl and Amber.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
I just get on so I can do my thing.
Yeah, okay. Mute if you want. Hi, Cheryl. It's Albert. How are you?
Hi,
Thanks for jumping on.
no problem. Thanks for having me.
And there's Amber King.
Hello.
Hello, Amber. We'll get into the contest in the first part of the presentation here.
Great.
I was telling Carlin yesterday, I said, I think you're paying these agents too much money. They didn't, only like 6 people signed up or sent their answers in for the quiz.
Oh,
And I
goodness.
said, maybe in Texas, $100 isn't a lot of money. I don't know.
I tried to promote it too. I posted it on our internal Facebook group. I said, hey, y'all, get your answers in.
Yeah, if there's only, the odds are pretty good. If there's only 5 doing it, somebody's going to win.
Mhm.
So, and you'd be surprised how bad the answer, or how wrong the answers were. It's unbelievable. But we'll go over the questions. Okay, I'm waiting on just one more. All right, well, let's let them join whenever they want. I don't want to hold everybody up. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, although we're all ladies here. No, I'm not a lady, but you know what I'm getting at. My name's Albert Clark, and I'm been in this business, this side of the real estate business for about almost 21 years. I built the first ever electronic newsletter for agents down in Philadelphia 21 years ago, and I've been stuck in this business ever since. And last week when I was doing these demos, I sat down with a lot of agents before, during, and after these demos. And I said, tell me how your social media is going. And they're all like, oh, I get lots of follows, I get lots of likes, but I don't see it turning into business. And one thing I'd like you ladies to understand is that just because you got follows and likes and happy faces and all that stuff, doesn't mean that you're creating allegiance with this thing called your sphere, your prospects, your clients, your friends. So the idea that we're going to start working on right now is how to build that allegiance so that they call you or that they stay in touch with you throughout this process before, during, and after a transaction. So at the end of the day, we want to portray you as an advocate. And what I mean by that is watching out for what's going on in their home, helping them get more value out of their home ownership. And you'll see that our content is leaning towards home ownership, not necessarily real estate. Because there's more people into home ownership than there are into real estate. So that's what we want you to do. And if you have any questions during the presentation, just bring them up, right live. We're okay. So why can't agents do the best possible job of staying in touch? And I asked this of all the agents that I'm in front of, and I get these answers like, Al, I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I don't have the whole thing. So we're asking you today to take a look at this whole thing, if you will, an end-to-end solution for building allegiance with your sphere. And it's not with chicken pot pie recipes and moving day tips. Okay, so let's get into some numbers. We all know real estate's a numbers game, so here's our numbers in that quiz. What's the percentage of your clients, prospects, or friends that are going to jump on your website this week, this month, or maybe even this year? The answer is a dismal 5%. Now, some people got that right on the button, and that's fine. Number two, in 2020, what percentage of consumers use the same agent? This is the repeat business rate on average. The answer is 13%. Yet 91% said that they would use you guys again for another subsequent transaction. And when NAR went back and said, well, why didn't you use Betty Jane? You said she was a great agent. Well, never stayed in touch, sent me a happy anniversary card 2 years ago. We got divorced 4 years ago. Keeps asking me about the kids. We don't have any kids. So there's a lot of things out there that are preventing people from reaching out to you because they don't know where you are, how to get a hold of you, believe it or not. Something as simple as staying in touch must be difficult. Number four, what percentage of clients who bought or sold with an agent 2 years ago can quickly come up with the agent's name? The answer is 23%. So that means 77% couldn't come up quickly with your name. So why is that? We all know what the answers are. Number five, what percentage of millennials, if you're looking for targets to go after, are looking for their first home literally all the time, right? And they're having problems now with down payment money, but they are aggressively looking for a first-time purchase. The answer is 69%. So that's a large chunk of millennials that still haven't gotten into their first house yet. Might be a game plan for you. How many realtors does the average consumer hear from, know of, or get info from? The average consumer is getting hit on by 6 realtors down there. One's going to get the call, the other 5 think they will. But the 5 aren't going to get the call because somebody did a better job of staying in touch. Number 7, this is one we're going to get into right now, database. How many agents have, out of 10, have a current, complete, clean, functioning database of everybody they know? And the answer is dismal. It's 1 out of 10. 9 out of 10 agents that we talk to on a daily basis don't have a database. So what are we going to do? We're going to build one for them. But first, let's give away some money. So who's the winner of the $100 gift card? Amber King.
Yay.
Yay.
I promise I didn't cheat. I promise.
No, the only way you can cheat is if you go on the internet and find these answers, and that's fine. That's using your brain. You didn't have to guess on them, although some agents really guessed because someday I'll show you their answers and their responses. But anyway, so these are just some of the places where we go right now, starting on day 1, and build the agent a brand new database by going into all these locations and probably 50 others, export all the emails, clean them up, run them through filters, take the duplicates out, show you which ones are bad, show you which ones are going to go in your database. And at the end of the day, this is what an agent needs, because right now they think they have a database, but it's all over the place. It's not in one place. Okay, so just wanted you to remember that. Can somebody mute the dog, please?
Yeah.
Hey, Cheryl, just mute yourself.
Thanks. Okay, so on the left-hand side, I don't know whether you saw Carlin's newsletter. We sent it out 2 days ago. But anyway, every 2 weeks, we provide a highly branded newsletter, 7, 8, 9 articles. We do all the work. We do the writing, the sending, the unsubscribing, the reports, all the reports that you're going to get. We do everything for you because frankly, you guys don't have the time to do it, right? So if you know it needs to be done, hire somebody that does it all the time. And that's what we do. Been at this, as I told you, for 20 years. So on the left-hand side there, you'll see one of our most widely clicked articles, the first article, what's sold down the street, when and for how much? Everybody wants to know what's sold down the street. So we're going to go into RPR and pull out these active reports on what's sold down the street and put them right in the system. Now, what you'll notice is the rotation of the articles and the types of content in the newsletter, okay? What we have now is what we feature called predictive articles, articles that when opened up, send you a signal by text or email to let you know who just clicked on that article. So if Betty Jane is clicking on what's sold down the street, might be time for a good phone call, right? Because you haven't talked to her in a while. What we're doing is we're coming up with conversation starters for you. That's what we do. So on the left-hand side here, you'll see some other articles. Some are what we call predictive, some like, home improvement advice. That doesn't mean that they're buying or selling a home because they click on that article. So you and I will work on what articles that you deem to be predictive, meaning I want to know when somebody opens them up. So here's another article. Would you want to talk to 10 people that are trying to find down payment money? Well, what we do is we ask these questions. Is 20% down payment still the only way to get into a home? We all know you don't need 20% anymore, but a lot of consumers do. So when they click on this article, ding, 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 you get the notification on your phone. Here's another one. 7 out of 10 homeowning families have no idea how much equity they have in their home. They know it's good, but they don't know how much. And NAR says they're not putting their house on the market until somebody gives them that magic number. And we don't want it to be Zillow, okay? We want you to be offering this kind of information inside of your newsletter. So, hey, Jim, can I call you and we'll do a quick CMA and find out how much equity you have in your home? Again, it's a conversation starter based on engaging content. And that's why we're different than anybody else that's putting out chicken pot pie recipes and moving day tips. We're also able to drive traffic from your newsletter to any popular links on your website that you want them to. So we can have an article that talks about your property search or all your fresh listings, and we land them on your page called My Listings, right? So we'll analyze what links you have and what links are valuable on your website, and we'll build links to those links. And the idea is that we're going to tell you who clicked off your newsletter and did a property search or looked at all your listings. You might want to know that as a conversation starter. Again, we're giving you the reasons to call somebody or to email them to let them know that you're here for answering any questions. This is how that sold article works. Again, you give us a bunch of zip codes, boom, 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 they put in, they show up, you get the text or email letting you know that somebody wanted to know what's sold down the street. Back on your website, if you've got the monthly market report enabled, you know that you need the zip code of the consumer to set them up for these automatic alerts. Now, I know agents can't collect email addresses. They sure can't collect zip codes on everybody they know. So what we do is we think this is a great monthly report, and every month we could put it in for you. And all we ask you to do is give us like 10 zip codes where you want to be an expert. When they open the article, click on their zip code, here comes the report, right? You don't have to play around with zip codes, that they're zip codes. You just gave us a whole bunch of zip codes where you do most of your business. And again, as soon as this Q&A image gets clicked on, boom, we track all that. You know who wants to know what about what area. Okay, so again, great reports, hyper local, making you that expert that they need. Here's Tommy Watson, who owns about 5 offices down in North Carolina. He also has our realtor version. He loves helping small businesses in his town recover from the pandemic. So what he does is every time his newsletter goes out, he gives us 8 or 10 small businesses, and we build web pages and linkages back to their web page. And it ends up as a great PR tool, because here he is walking around town now showing people that he put them in his newsletter. Now, Tommy's newsletter goes out to 3,700 consumers every 2 weeks. So it's a great vehicle to promote whatever he wants. He could bring in his listings, his just solds, his open houses, his Angie's list, or the Vets to Haul junk in Mooresville, North Carolina. Okay, so this gets him an amazing amount of public relations. He could see it and feel it when he moves about town, okay? Because everybody gets his newsletter. This is what we mean by portraying you as an advocate. Literally about a month and a half ago, the hurricane, when it hit Louisiana, that afternoon, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recalled about 1.5 million generators, okay? These are the same generators that people had in their garages, and they were catching on fire and not only burning the garage is usually attached to the house. Next thing you know, the house is on fire. So what we do is we educate your readers on dangerous products in the home as they pop open. So every day when they click on, or any day when they click on this, they're going to have the freshest recalls. Now, I doubt you have time to go to the Consumer Product Safety Commission every morning and and spread the word about what dangerous products are out there. That's what we do. And of course, so it looks like it's you, right? But we portray you as that advocate. Now, after every article or any article gets open, we ask the reader to vote on it. Tell us how you like it. We see this, and of course, you see this. Look at that 4th answer down there. Do you know somebody thinking about buying or selling a home? I'm going to tell you that in the first 2 launches, you're going to get some referral business out of your database. It won't be closed, but it'll be a referral opportunity, because you're now in front of X amount of people every 2 weeks offering your services. and somebody's going to know somebody else that needs real estate. Okay. So this is what we call a soft ask, and you're giving so much in return. But again, when this form gets filled out, you see it. Now, not everybody fills this form out, but there's boatloads of opportunities here after every launch. Now, what else makes us different is what we call email exclusivity. Okay. So in Carlin's newsletter, she has, if she put in bettyjane@aol.com, and then you tried to put it in a day, a week, a month later, you can't get it because email addresses put in our system become exclusive. Okay. You can't use them a second time in the database. So your clients, prospects, and friends will only see home actions coming from you, not from a Keller Williams agent, not from another agent on this call. Okay. So it's important to get your database built in, and then we make it exclusive, or we protect it, if you will. If you're into social media, you'll never run out of content that we have for you in your library. We have about 1,400 articles now on all aspects of home ownership and real estate. So you can drag articles to your newsletter, to your blog. You can put this entire newsletter on social media and Facebook in it takes about 12 seconds to put the whole article, or I'm sorry, the whole newsletter. If you want just an article, it takes about 10 seconds on Facebook. Okay, and you're going to get a lot of street credibility because what you're sending out there is good, actionable content. Again, not grandma's chicken pot pie recipes. You'll hear me say that 100 times. We want to help people manage what they have now. This is an example how it could, a Facebook post would look. Tell me, here's why you want to click here. Boom, boom. Click here and actually sign up for my home actions too. We could put your home actions log sign up page on here also. Are there any questions yet? Anybody? No? Okay. After the newsletter launches, what we do is we'll sit down with you, and I'll do this. If you do join the program, I'll be responsible for managing your account. And I will go in to the back end and we'll say, hey, click here, click here, click here. And we're going to show you oodles of metrics, if you will. What this screen shows on the left-hand side is that half of your readers will open your newsletter multiple times. Okay. Again, the idea is good content that stays in their inbox. The only way they can open your newsletter multiple times is if they save your name and subject line in their inbox. And as they go up and down their Outlook 500 times a day, like you and I do, impression, impression, impression. Okay. That's what we're good at, is getting people to keep your name in their inbox. And that's one of the goals of effective email marketing. On this next page, what articles resonated well? Who wants to know what about when? So look at that middle red arrow there. 28 people wanted to know what sold down the street. Click on the word who, and we're going to tell you who wanted to know. And the only way they got that information was because they were in your database. This is our engagement report, or some might want to call this the allegiance report. This is, the ability for you to find out who in your database opens up everything you send them, okay, and clicks multiple times. This is only the report on the opens. So these are all people that opened up this agent's newsletter 56 times, 38 times, 34 times since they were put in the database. So we're going to be able to aggregate this allegiance into reports, and these are your opportunities. These are the people that are following you more so than an official follow on Facebook. They're opening, engaging with your content, okay, and then opening it again in a couple days, and then 2 weeks later, there's another one comes out. Remember, this comes out every 2 weeks, not once a month. Once a month doesn't cut it anymore in trying to build relationship capital. We know that. We've done our research. So yes, every 2 weeks, all new content. This could be set it and forget it for you. You don't have to do anything unless you want to. But if you want to get involved with bringing in your listings, your just solds, your open houses, either we'll do that for you, or you can do it yourself. It's not hard. So there's lots of metric reports that you have access to. Now, who's your newest competitor? Who's trying to put you guys out of business? Well, what happens if you go out of business? Do you know what happens to my business, right? So we're trying to compete against Zillow here for neighborhood information. And we've got a widget inside the newsletter. It's called the Neighborhood 360. And it allows your readers to pull up any address of 150 million. There aren't any more front doors than that. And dig into that house and dig into the neighborhood around it, okay? So let's just assume that I'm looking at 59 Hillock Woods. We're going to give you some demographics. This report, by the way, opens up right on their screen. You don't have to do anything except listen to your phone when it says Betty Williams is now clicking on 59 Hillock Woods, because we know what report she requested and why she wants the report. Okay, so 59 Hillock Woods, single family, year built, square foot, recent sales nearby. Now, these aren't comps. These are just recent sales. Rent versus own information, tax information, average tax bill, cost of living to move from anywhere to this part of town or this part of another state, doesn't make a difference. Income levels in the neighborhood, all the schools. We don't tell them which schools they're going to go to. We just tell them where the schools are. Okay. And then this is what we call, a mini snapshot of the neighborhood around any address. So when you say you're a neighborhood expert, you literally can prove it now, because you know a lot about every neighborhood in the country. And there aren't more than 150 million. We've got them all. If you want to bring your listings in, we'll do that for you. If you want us to put a neighborhood snapshot report right after your listing of that listing, we can do that for you. We have a whole staff of designers and writers and people that will do this stuff for you. We don't expect you to do this. Just tell us the MLS ID number of your new listing and we'll put it in there. Okay, so that's the extent of what you're responsible for once this gets going. Then there's the neighborhood navigator. Hey, Jimmy, can you tell me what my house is worth? This is usually one of the best lead generation sources that you can get. And it simply says, tell me what my house is worth. Here's my address, or an address they might be looking at. What's the value of the home? We give them a little value range, but then you see all this and you get a chance to call them back and say, hey, let me do a quick CMA for you. I'll tell you what your house is worth. Adding your professionalism incrementally every 2 weeks. That's what we're all about. At the end of the day, we know what to send, when to send, how to send it, okay? We know how to create these conversation starters for you, and that's where the money is, in the ability to reach out to somebody knowing what they just read, or possibly knowing what they're interested in, and how to lock in this exclusive value. Everything I've shown you so far, your clients, prospects, and friends can't get from another agent, whether it's an ROG, KW, CB, C21, whatever it is. Okay, now let's figure out these subscription options. What I want you to do is hire my 48 employees to do this for you every 2 weeks. But here's how we're saving you a boatload of money. In our contract with ROG, and we do have a contract with ROG because we're a preferred provider, vendor, we took the setup fee normally from $99 down to $50. Well, for your ROG office there, and Carlin called me back and we negotiated some terms. I think I lost on the deal, by the way, but we got rid of the whole setup fee. That $99, you don't have to pay anymore. And we're asking you to come in at $60 per month for a newsletter every 2 weeks. No cancellation penalties, walk away anytime you want, no contracts, okay? So it's a $60 expenditure to prove to you that I'm going to put 2 newsletters on the street, right? Because every two weeks, that's a whole month. At the end of the first month, here's what you can do. You have 3 options: cancel, give your money back, give your database, okay? Doesn't happen very often. 2, stay at $60 per month for as many months as you want. You might have a big deal coming in 2 months you don't know about. You want to stay at $60, that's fine. Or you can move to the 160 and save another $80. So at the end of for a whole year, your monthly plan costs you 60 times 12, 720, but your quarterly plan can cost you 160 times 4, and that's 640. Okay, so 640 versus 720 is another $80 savings. Yeah, 60 and 20, $80. Either plan you get your money back in the first month. Okay, so there's no way that you're going to complain to Carlin and say, hey, Albert ripped us off. That doesn't happen, and we wouldn't be on this call now if that was happening. So the monthly plan, cash flow wise, the monthly plan is the easiest. Put $60 down, and then we're going to give you that 60 back. That 60 will get you 2 newsletters on the street. If you don't get some referral business, if you don't feel this buzz working, then we redouble our efforts, we move you to free, we do something, but this does work, okay? I've done my whole professional career on helping agents differentiate themselves because we know there's too many out there. So let's have some questions about either the financing plan or content widgets, just about anything in the program that I may have gone over too fast. Questions, anyone?
Are the articles ever more local specific? Obviously, you know how much is your house down the street and stuff like that, but do you have ever any other local content?
Yeah, we do have a widget called it's called Zapdo or Sapto. It's the ability for us to pull up local events such as sporting events, concert, and things to do with the kids. That system was working unbelievably well before Corona. And then when we started shutting down the country, obviously no events, it's coming up to speed right now. I didn't want to show it to you until it was fully back to speed, but I'll be able to show you. Can I have, who's asking that question, please?
Amber.
Amber, okay. I will, I'll send you an example of how cool that article is. But no, I don't know that there's a wine tasting festival in your town. What you can do is send me the page to the like Chamber of Commerce, local activities or something like that. I mean, use your imagination. But if you get any of that content to me, we'll build that article for you. And of course, tell you who opened and clicked on it. Okay, so I don't have feet on the ground, you know, in Buda, Texas, to tell me what's going on with all the events. But I'm sure on the internet somewhere, there's a page of all events and, you know, Halloween stuff, whatever. We'll build that, put it in your newsletter, and again, push it out every 2 weeks. So the answer is no, we don't have it, but yes, we can get it. If we can see it, we can put it in your newsletter.
Great.
Okay, next question, please. Anybody else? Are you ladies using these monthly market reports to their best ability, or do you think nobody understands it? Meaning, do you like these? We could put these in the newsletter. We don't have to. We could take them out. But it is a fresh monthly report. We could put it in every other edition of your newsletter if you want. All you got to do is tell us you want it there. And there's no cost for any extra above that monthly fee I was telling you about. There's no cost for bringing in what's sold down the street, local activities, anything else. We could bring in your listings, your just sold, your testimonials, whatever you want. We'll publish it for you and send you a proof. Okay, next question, please. Is anybody using a newsletter service out there now that I can compare to, or I guess not?
No,
I'm sorry?
no, I'm not.
No, okay. All right. So what we have, as I told you, is Blessed by ROG. We're their official email marketing company. They don't have anybody else in the toolbox or marketplace to do that. What else do you need to know? So again, the high points are: we build you a new database. We make that database exclusive. We give you intelligence on what's going on in your database, and we protect it. That's 4 things that you've got to have when it comes to effective email marketing. So that's what we do for you, and we do it for over 500 ROG agents today. We have more of 500 and I think 20. And we also have a recruiting version of the newsletter that we work with. That's where Carlin first met me. She has our recruiting version, which is educating competing agents in your town, going out maybe 20, 30 miles. So that's working very well. I think we have 65 or 70 ROG owners using that subscription service. Next
I have a
question. Go ahead, please.
How do you start? You get our database from our emails or what?
Yeah, we go into all the locations where you might have email addresses, okay? Gmail's a great one. That takes about a minute to export out of there. Your MLS, if you've got people you set up with listing alerts. Your iPhone, does it back up to your iCloud? Or where does your phone? Maybe you don't put email contacts in your phone. Okay, an old Yahoo or AOL account. Everywhere you can think where you might have email addresses, I could show you how to export it, or I could export it myself remotely. And we clean it all up and hand you a database that you could say, no, 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 yes, 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 yes. You could take anybody off the list you want before it goes into the system. Once it goes into the system, then every 2 weeks, we're firing out a newsletter for you. So what happens today is, if you wanted to join today and save that additional money, you can work with me. We take an order over the phone, In about an hour, you'll get a receipt for what you purchased. Maybe that's 60 or even the 160, but I'd rather you just do the 60, right? Because cash flow wise, that's better. And then after your list gets put back in, you're going to be able to approve it. And then it goes back into the system. And then you and I talk about content, what you want in your first launch, what you want on the graphics at the top. Look at the over on the right there, you can see Susan Hotchkiss from Connecticut. She, had that picture in her library. So I think that's her Facebook page. So we're able to use graphics that you have. If not, we'll build you something custom. We've got Photoshop experts on staff. That answer your question?
Yes, sir.
All right. So again, good content, consistently delivered. I don't think you guys have time to do this. That's why we do it for you. That's why Carlin wanted you to see this. And she's, happy that the 5 of you signed up or signed up for registered for the webinar. Because there's nothing like this in the back end of the ROG web box, or your toolbox. Next question, please. That's it. All right, does anybody want me to call them back and answer some more questions about the program or how to get started? Of course, your guarantee is that this works or you get your money back. So that's why most agents, I would say 7 out of 10 agents in ROG started at that $60 per month level. Now, I got 5, let's see how many we still have here. We got 4 on the call. Okay.
I think one had to bounce off, so
Yeah.
I haven't get back on.
Oh, hi, Colleen. I didn't see a slide in there. Okay, so let's see. What can I do to lower the price here? Hold on a second. All right, Amber, Cheryl, and Colleen. If I can get 2 agents to subscribe to this, I'll knock it from 60 down to 50, which means I'll save you another $120. So how did you save the $120? $10 a month times 12 months is $120. So you'll save 120 more if I can get 2 agents to say, yeah, I'll try this out and see how it goes. Again, you get your money back if it doesn't work. But I'm always looking for ways to, lower the price for agents, because if they don't try it because of the money, that's okay. But I'd rather not have the money be an issue. So between Cheryl, Colleen, and Amber, does anybody want to join? Now, you're not contractually, locked into joining, but are you leaning towards joining so we could save everybody else another $120?
I'd be interested in follow-up if you have time tomorrow.
Yeah, who's that?
Amber.
I don't know why your name's not coming up when you're speaking, but that's my problem. All right, Amber, I'll give you a call tomorrow. Anybody else? Colleen, what do you think? Colleen, you on mute? Yeah, you are. No, you're not on mute. Colleen, can you hear me? Cheryl, I know you can hear me, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Is that you, Colleen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, any comments about the program, or can we count you in?
Oh, I'm really sorry. I got there late.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You didn't see much of the presentation. Well, I could send you my PowerPoint that I used.
You can do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's your email address, Colleen?
It's colleenvillarreal@gmail.com. Can
Say
you
that
see
again,
my
please.
spelling?
Oh, Colleen Villarreal. Okay, I see that. All right,
At gmail.com.
at Gmail. Now, I'll ask all 3 of you, does everybody have a clean, reliable, current database of everybody you've known and worked with?
You already know the answer to that,
Yeah.
Albert.
I wanted to get you to believe what my mantra is here. And that's great. And I knew what the answer was. Because usually when I say this to agents, somebody will always pipe open and go, oh, I do. I've got everything all in one spreadsheet. It's like, well, you're that 1 out of 10. Cheryl, what can I do for you? Do you like the idea of saving some more money on this?
Yeah, but I'm just on the fence because I really don't have a database.
You do or you don't?
I do not.
Okay. Well, let's just say I'll build you the database for free, even though I don't charge for it. That's what was in the $99 that Carlin got me to waive. So I lost on that one, but no, I could start building your database this afternoon. And then that means we go into Gmail, we spend about a minute in there. If you've got people in the MLS, you set up for listing alerts, your iCloud, your telephone backup, wherever you are, we'll go and get those contacts. Because that's the most important thing we could do. I mean, if we have had, you know, in the past, we've had agents that don't work with us to build the database and they cancel after 2 months because they never put anybody in. Well, we're all over the agent now. Once they subscribe, we start working that day and get that database built so nobody else can steal your contacts.
How do you do that?
How do we get into your Gmail?
Build our database.
Well, we go into Gmail, and we create all these little spreadsheets of all the exports from these systems. And then we put them all together. We take the bad ones out. We show you the good ones. You can then scrub that list and then you have a database. Okay. And at any given time, 10% of your email addresses you have in all your systems are bad. You just don't know which 10%.
Right.
So we're going to build you that database today, and tomorrow afternoon you'll have it solidified in your data, in your dashboard in Home Actions. So I assume everybody's got Gmail, right? Everybody that emailed you or you've ever emailed, you'll be 300 or 400 contacts there. You might have 1,000. That's just it. You don't know. And I can get you to know this because it takes about 30 seconds to download your database in Gmail. And
What about Yahoo?
And Yahoo, yeah, Yahoo's the same, as well as AOL. Everybody that ever emailed you is a contact.
Because I've had a Yahoo account longer than I've had the Gmail account. That's why I asked.
Well, we'll export them all, clean them all up. That's what we'll do. Okay, and then, you know, you're proud that you have a database. Now let's, you know, develop some relationships here. Let's get some phone calls going. You know, there's people that you have their email address that you haven't talked to them in 2 or 3 years. What would you say, right? That's what we're all about here. We know what to say now because you know what they're clicking on and what they're interested in. So again, we do what we pretty sure we know what needs to be done to build these relationships. And we know that like 9 out of 10 agents have our program this year. We'll have it next year. No one even asked about the unsubscribe rate. Okay. What do you think a good unsubscribe rate is for real estate junk email, if you will? Somebody give me an answer out there. What's a good unsubscribe rate? Nobody can guess?
60%.
No, it happens to be about 11 or 12%. Our unsubscribe rate is under 4.5%. Okay. So roughly 4 to 5 people out of every 100 are going to say, I don't like her. I don't know who she is. Where'd she get my email address? You know, those conspiracy theorists. And they unsubscribe, and that's fine. How about an open rate? Okay. Does anybody here know what an average realtor's newsletter across the board open rate is?
28%.
No, it's about 14.
Mm.
Ours is 28 to 35%. Okay, and sometimes we'll get you up to 40, 42. We're never going to get you 60. That just doesn't happen in email marketing. Although our content is good and the agent says, why doesn't everybody open this? You know, it's good stuff. And that's not the way that, you know, that's not the way that email marketing works. Once you get them to open it up, we think we caught them, and they're going to open up continually every 2 weeks now.
But
Because
what you're saying though too is the content that you have can be repurposed on our website or social
Sure.
media.
You own everything, the 1,400 articles, as well as the 7 or 8 articles that come out every 2 weeks. And we'll show you how to put it on your social media sites. It's not hard.
How many pages is the newsletter?
Well, 1, but when you
Okay.
click when you click on the image or the title, like here, I'll show you, here, well, this sold sign right here. Hey, Susan, how's the market? When you click on the sold sign, it goes to a boatload of information, right? It could be 1,000 pages, right? But the average newsletter, you know, you could see most of the articles on your screen. Yes, you have to scroll down to see article 8, 9, or 10, but that's okay. People aren't worried about that. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I had that question asked of me, how many pages is it? It's
I
about,
just wondered how much scrolling they had to do to, I
yeah,
don't know.
well, it depends on what template you choose. There's a couple different ways you could have these articles be presented. But they generally, on an average size screen of about 18 to 24 inches, probably 3/4 of the newsletter will be visible before they have to scroll. But scrolling is good, right? Because, and this gets into another long story as to how we're whitelisted on Gmail, right? We play by their rules. Gmail knows right now, every email you open, they know when you opened it, how many times. They know how many times did you scroll down, did you stop and then continue scrolling. They want to make sure that emails that they deliver from us are engaging, getting open, clicked, and shared, okay? So we've got our whole IT department's been upset, as well as other major email marketing companies, because of the new rules that Gmail is going to have, okay? And it all revolves around making sure you're sending emails that aren't bad, email addresses, and the content is wanted by most of those that read it, because they can track it all. So the reason that we have to keep Gmail happy is that we're whitelisted with them. We get around their spam filters and right into the inbox, okay? And it's a big pain taking care of that relationship, because if they shut us down, probably 2/3 of all of our emails are Gmail. That can't happen. We lose our business that way. Well, we've never been blocked by Gmail, but my point is, we go through great lengths to make sure that we play by the rules. Next question, please. Anybody else? Colleen, what do you think?
I'm on the fence. I'm really looking for someone that's gonna go and do all my social media.
Okay, well, have you ever tried to post something on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so if you had the right content and it takes about 10 seconds to post an article, you'd want to pay somebody to do that?
I don't want just articles.
Oh, okay. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for what's happening here and just a little bit of everything.
Okay, well, I could, as I mentioned before, I could bring in your quote, your Chamber of Commerce events calendar for October, and where are all the pumpkin festivals and things like that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's first day of fall. I would like something on there, things like that. When it's Halloween, when it's Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever it be.
Right, okay, so then you could, I mean, if it's out there, we can go get it and put it in.
Well,
What
I
I'm
don't know where
saying.
you're gonna get it. It's like someone has to think about, okay, what do we want to write and what do we want the background to be and how's
Well,
that gonna help Colleen?
I don't know how it's gonna help Colleen. She's gonna
No,
have to
I'm
find,
saying, and that's what they have to think,
Right.
So that's what I'm trying.
all right, well, I could do my best to put content in your newsletter every 2 weeks that's hyper local about events, and I don't even know where you live, but obviously there's a web page out there right now for local events where you are. I'm sure there is. And we could publish that in the newsletter for you. And we
Right.
could do Halloween, and we could do Thanksgiving, we do Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you want.
But how are you gonna know what background? I have to tell you?
Every 2 weeks before your newsletter launches, you're going to get what we call a 4-day email. It's going to say, hey, Colleen, in 4 days, your newsletter's launching. That's your clue to call me. Because I might have articles, something like that up my sleeve. If I don't, I'm going to ask you where you live and I'll go find it for you. But when you say the background, I don't understand what you mean by the background.
Well, I'm just saying, for example, I'm gonna put on there something about Veterans Day or Christmas. You gotta have something, a background for whatever you're writing.
You mean an image background or?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, we've got probably 250,000 images in our library.
I'm sure
Um,
you do. I just
so-
don't know if y'all are gonna do that kind of stuff. I mean, it sounds like I have to go to Facebook and do it.
You after we built your newsletter or an individual article, yeah, you could put that on in Facebook, and about everything we give you, it's got its own unique URL. So that could take you about a minute in Facebook to do.
Right, I know.
But
Okay.
if you want to pay somebody to do that, that's certainly up to you. It's fine.
Right.
And then what she can do is whatever she develops, she could send to us, or I could train her on your system, we could put her in as a member of your account, and she can go in and add that stuff to your newsletter.
Well, I think there's companies, but I don't know,
To do what?
that will do that for me.
Oh, are we going to have to send you every month the Chamber of Commerce news, what's going on, or?
No, if you tell me you want it in every month, we'll put it in every month, and it will only pull fresh events. Right? So you may not want it in, this edition, you may want it in the next edition. Right? Because Halloween's at the end of the month or something. So you have total control over what goes in. So if you tell us you want the Chamber of Commerce local events in the article, we could set it up that way. We could set it up for your next 10 newsletters. And every time they hit that page, it's going to pull the freshest calendar. That's the purpose of the Chamber of Commerce, right? And I
I
just,
will give it thought.
pardon me?
I will give it some thought.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Lynn, you're back. Any questions, Lynn?
Sorry, yes, I was showing houses.
Oh, that's okay. Did you make any of the presentation or?
Some of it, I'm probably gonna, I just got on. I'm going to have to listen to it.
Oh, all right. I will, I'll get a copy of this, or I'll send you the PowerPoint.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay? And then
I
we can
didn't
do, we can
Foresee
do a
this
one-on-one.
happening. but- Okay,
All right, thanks, Lynn.
thank you.
Okay, Amber, you got any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, so Amber and Cheryl, you thinking about joining? Colleen, probably not, but that's okay. And
I
then
didn't
I'll-
say no. I'm just gonna think about it.
All right,
after I
where do you,
see the
what
email.
town do you live in, Colleen?
Kyle,
How do you spell that, please?
Kyle.
Kyle, Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I mean, we have I'm sure, I don't know. I've never really looked into it.
Okay. All right, well, I'll do some digging around. I'll send you some links, just, I'm not gonna hound you to join if you don't see any value in this, obviously.
No, that's fine. I just, like I said, I missed the beginning. I'm gonna wait until I review what you
Yeah.
send me.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
well, if nobody else has any questions, we could get back to business here.
Thank
Well,
you.
you said something about, there's a website of events.
Yeah, on our newsletter,
No, I thought you,
when I
We're
said the
talking
Chamber of
about our-
Commerce, you mean?
yeah, I thought you meant there was another one besides the Chamber of Commerce.
No, no, I don't even know if your Chamber of Commerce has a calendar, event calendar on it. But there's other, newspapers have event calendars. A lot of people have event calendar. I'm gonna type in what's going on in Kyle, Texas.
Yeah, there's a lot of like influencers and people like that that have stuff too, and they aggregate, what's going on in the community. I mean,
Yeah.
title companies do that too.
Yeah,
The title companies will put out and say what's happening, or things to do in the area in fall and things like that.
and we could help you get that content delivered, okay? Throwing it on your Facebook. How many people are hitting your Facebook these days, Colleen? Colleen, you're still on mute. Okay,
Sorry, I'm muted.
that's okay. So
Um,
how many hits are you getting on your Facebook page a day?
I have no clue.
Okay, so and you're not going to be able to control that once you hire somebody new to do that. So if I could find you 500 or 600 emails in your system, those people are going to see you every 2 weeks.
On an email,
Yeah. So,
like I have thousands of emails, but I don't even think they would know who I am. They're just from business.
well, that's why we don't charge you per email. Let's see if we can create and nurture a relationship with somebody you haven't talked to in 3 years.
Right?
So say I do that, say that happens just once, I did my job. Because you've got all these email addresses, you have nothing to say to them until you met me.
This is true.
All right. So again, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I'll call you.
You're not.
I'll
You're not.
send some information. I'll see what's going on in Kyle, Texas. Although you should already know this because you're the most progressive, agent.
We do have a Chamber of Commerce.
You do? All right. And then we could plug that link, and that article can go in every edition of your newsletter.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. So, Amber, I need your address to send you the $100 gift card. Your physical street address.
Okay, I'll email it to you.
Yeah, because we don't send it to the office because sometimes they disappear. And then, Lynn, I will send you the PowerPoint of what I've got here and a copy of what we're recording right now. Colleen, you're gonna be, work in progress. And Cheryl, I think you see the value in this now, maybe a couple questions and we can get you to sign up. You'd be the second one. And that means that Colleen saves $120 as well as Cheryl. And Lynn, I think you weren't on the call when we came up with a better pricing for this. So I'll make sure you get notified of that when I email you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You were going to email me as well, the PowerPoint.
Okay, Colleen gets the PowerPoint. Okay.
I know Christy Seekins was on too, Albert.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go ahead and follow up with her and let.
Christy, what was her last name? All right, yeah, I've got Christy's name here.
Seekins.
Is she registered? Yeah. All right, any other questions? Look at that, we're just under
What did
1
you
hour.
say the discounted price?
Say that again, please.
What did you say the incentive price was?
The best price,
$50? Yeah,
that's the monthly plan at $50 a month, not 60.
okay.
So it was 60 until the end of the presentation. And I said, if we can get 2 agents to sign up, everybody gets it for $50 instead of 60.
Oh,
And that saves you $120. $10 times 12 months is $120.
what do you think, Amber?
Slam dunk, Amber, right?
Yeah, I said follow up with me tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll get you tomorrow. All right, any other questions, ladies?
Not for me, thank you.
All right, thanks, ladies. We'll be in touch. Lynn, I'll send you some
Yeah.
stuff. Colleen, you get the PowerPoint. Cheryl and
Okay,
Amber, I'll
thank
talk to you
you.
tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, thanks. Sorry, I missed it.
No, that's okay, Lynn.
I'll look at it.
All right.
Thanks.
Cheryl, any other questions from you?
I don't think so, not right now.
All right. Okay, well, listen, thanks for, giving me an hour of your time. I appreciate it and hopefully learn something, but you're gonna learn a lot more if we get into this thing.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.